Good morning, happy holidays, all that good shit. Time to get back to work. Over the weekend, I looked at most of the 12 noon games of the NFL, and they have 4 games. I want to start off with. I want to show the event charts because they're basically going to be the same with the D9, which is the Navamsha, and the birth chart. When I refer to the event chart / birth chart, you could use them interchangeably. I mean the same. The birth chart is the event chart, unless I'm referring to the coach's birth chart. Yeah, it's I hope the least I can come away with this is trying to show to people that astrology is more than a fucking newspaper clipping that you read, and the only thing that you get off of that is your sun sign, not even your rising sign, which is the zodiac sign that's coming up on the eastern horizon whenever you come out the womb of your mother. So that's just a little heads up. I'm gonna share my screen right here. Let's see. Share 3. Let's do this. All right. So I got all these. There we go. All right. First one we'll do is KC and Jacksonville. Well, I'm gonna show you all the game charts first. They're all gonna be the same. You see how you got Sagittarius rising with Jupiter in the first? So that's going to give the Chiefs, who are the favorites, they are going to be represented by Sagittarius and Jupiter. Come over to the descendant, which is the 7th house. That is Gemini. So you got Sagittarius, Gemini axis. The dual signs are activated. And that's how they will be in most of these games. But these specific four games that I'm going to show, the charts are the same, which means these planets in the event / birth chart are going to fall in the same Navamsha signs, all the planets. The rest of them don't do that, so there'll be different outcomes. Yeah, and once you look at the Navamsha in this game chart, you see Taurus, you'll have Aries rising. So for the favorite, for the Chiefs, we're going to be looking for a Jupiter-Mars connection, right? What do we know that's going on in the sky right now? Virgo, the 10th house, which is where we see all these planets at right here. That's where all the juice is at. Besides Capricorn. And another thing I want to note too is that you see that the moon is hemmed between 2 malefics right here. And what, 14, 15 degrees. This is a very, very tight conjunction. So, I mean, a moon is probably one of the most important planets in the horoscope, but it's so fast and it's moved so fast. It's hard to pin down, especially whenever you don't have birth times for coaches. But I just wanted to make a note of that also. Let's see. So that's the first chart. I'm giving you the setup. You're going to have Jupiter in the first, and the 10th house for the favorite, which will be Virgo and Gemini. So you got Jupiter versus Mercury and Mars versus Venus in this setup. Let's go to the second game that I was talking about. San Francisco and Tampa Bay. You can see exact same setup. The only difference that you'll see is that the rising, the degrees, the actual degrees will change, and you can see. I really wouldn't be comfortable betting these games, but since the Navamsha doesn't change within 3 minutes, none of the planets change. I'm fairly confident in doing so. So that's that. But you see the exact same setup. The favorite will be Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay will be Sagittarius and Jupiter. And the underdog, which is San Francisco, will be using Mercury. Same setup in Levanter. This is all the event charts. Next game. Buffalo and New York. We got the Jets as a favorite. You can see the exact same setup. Now, you're thinking, I'm sure you're thinking, and this is how actually the guy that I learned from in the book, Gambler's Dharma, he only uses event charts. I kind of took it a little bit further and incorporated the coaches' charts. I mean, you could do players and everything that make big impacts on the team, but I mean, it's just the coach is the head honcho. You know, the head coach, he's running the show. So that's who I use. So you see, same setup right here. And the last game would be Washington and Philadelphia. This is the game that I'm really, really interested in right here. Philly is huge favorites in this game. Nobody is giving the Redskins a shot. And if I had money to throw away, I would bet the Redskins straight up. Unfortunately, I'm not going to do that, and I'm going to tell you, take the points on the Redskins because the Redskins, I think they're going to cover this game. We'll see. But that's that. That's the 4 games I was telling you that the event charts are exactly the same, besides give or take a degree from the the actual degrees differ. Difference is about a total of 1 degree. There's that. So Washington and Philly. I said I was going to start on KC, but since this one's so juicy, I might as well do this one. Let's see. I got some notes too. I really don't like. As you can see at the video that I posted earlier on YouTube about how I sized up charts last year in the playoffs. I print everything out, man. That's how I am. I like to see shit in front of me and, write it down. I'm old school, I guess, anyway. But anyway, I'm going to have to make do on this screen. It's a little harder to me doing it on here and for you to see it. And if my astrology software I tried to give Mr. Ernst well, I need to recommend this. He needs buy and try wheels, man. Like, you see right here, you got the transit. Well, he needs to have something to where I can have like a synastry chart to have this being the actual game chart, and the outside right here would be the coaches. Some kind of setup like that. I know Solar Fire and all that has in different programs, but just saying it's hard to show you actually what I'm doing if you don't know these signs left and right and like the houses. Like Aries is the first house. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, all the way to Pisces, which is 12. The signs have actual numerical values and they have meanings, whether they're good or bad. Like the 6th, 8th, and 12th house is usually considered bad houses. I don't really like that term, but I should say inauspicious. But anyway, that's just a little food for thought. I'm going to go back to these screens right here. All right. So the first thing we notice, we got, this is what we're looking at, Jupiter, all right here. So we pull up Peterson's chart, which is the coach. Oh, man. How about pulling it up first? That'll help. There we go. Peterson and Jay Gruden. All right. Remember, you can always see if I'm on an event chart or a coach's chart, looking up right here. As you can see, I'm back on an event because I want to stress to you, see, when you use a South Indian chart, which is this square chart right here, compared to the North Indian chart, the South Indian chart is basically to it's more suitable for a version of Indian astrology, which is called Jaimini, which is sign-based astrology. So it's easier to read the signs. In this house, it's a house-centric chart. So you got the house 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You got these 4 inside this diamond. This is your angles, 1, 4, 7, and 10. And you got your trines, 1, 5, and 9 right here. So it's just a little different setup. You know, it's easier to read. Whatever, I guess you could say, method you're doing in astrology to get what you got to do, you use. I recommend, if you want to get into this, to learn both and the wheels. You got to learn the wheels for transits too. But anyway, all right. So we got Peterson's chart up. Let's go back to Washington. Remember, I said the signs don't change. So we got to use Sagittarius rising for Peterson's chart. So we knock it in right here. 115 Sagittarius would be rising in Peterson's chart right now, right? Okay. Just by looking at his chart right now, we're looking for the #1 planet. It's Jupiter, right? Where's Jupiter? Look where he's at. He's in Virgo. So that means not only that all of these these planets in the event chart are under the influence of the sun, which means they're combust. He has his natal Jupiter combust. The only thing that's going to be helping him out is transiting Jupiter. Is going to be in the first house. That's going to be a big help for him. But it's not any value added. He's going to have his natal Jupiter combust, and that's the planet that's running the whole chart. That's a strike and a plus because it's in the 10th house. I mean, you really can't get better than that. But it's also retrograde. And it's close. As you see the degrees, 320. I mean, that's only a 2-degree arc from a 1 Sag ascendant. Okay, we got that. Next thing we look at is Mercury. Not Mercury, I'm sorry, is Mars. Why? Because in this, damn it. Why? Because in this event chart for the favorites, which is the Eagles, Aries becomes the ascendant. Where is Mars? In the 2nd house, conjunct Saturn with all those planets. That is not good. All right. So you can see old Doug Peterson's coming out of the gates, I think, sloppy. All right. That's just to not have this shit drawn out so long. I'm just gonna give you the planetary lords. All right. So we go to Jay Gruden. We go right here. Look what we got going on. We got the moon, which is basically on the cusp of Capricorn in his birth chart. So he's gonna already have I guess you can say a Saturn-time influence because Saturn rules Capricorn on his moon. And I'm showing you the moon right now because he has a planet on the game chart ascendant. For him specifically, we're looking at Mercury and Sun, and look where they're at. Even though Mercury is debilitated, it is Cazimi, which is a 37. It's less than a degree from the sun. They call it in the heart of the sun. It's supposed to give us some power, but Mercury is debilitated in Pisces. I should know. I have that placement too. Now, what's also interesting, and I don't mean to jump around. I mean, it's just there's a lot. I could sit here and talk all day about these charts and pick out stuff, but you can also see right here. We're also going to have, for these two coaches, debilitated Saturns in Aries, which is squaring, transiting Saturn in Capricorn right now. So another thing to look at. Yeah. So we go back to Gruden. We got Gemini. It's in the 10th for him, which will be the 4th from the ascendant. But the good thing right here, you have his planets. Remember how we go back to the game chart, all these planets in Virgo, they're opposites. So you don't have his natal Mercury, his natal ascendant Lord combust. It is in the, you can say it is. I mean, even though it's Cazimi, it's supposed to be strengthened. But with him already having that setup opposite of the setup in the sky right now, I think that's a big plus. Being that his natal chart ruler didn't combust like Doug Peterson's is. So that's a good thing, even though it's debilitated. So you can even say right now, I mean, Philly would probably have still an advantage. I mean, talent-wise, their rosters, I mean, is superior to the Redskins as far as I know. But so we go right here. Venus, remember, Aries for the favorite. Venus would be here in Libra. Where is Venus? In the 10th house. That is great. Even though it's in an enemy sign, we got an exchange with Moon. Right here. We got a Venus-Moon exchange. So that means these two planets on top of his Mercury that's in Gemini, which you drop that back down into the game chart, it's kind of anchoring down his descendant. And it's gonna be like that for these 4 games in each event chart. But you gotta assess how these planets are situated in the actual coach's chart, you know? It's a lot of rules, man, and it's so hard for me not even like giving a basic like video on astrology, how to read charts and like how to read signs and houses. It's really, it can get confusing real quick, which I'm sure it already is. I mean, I'm doing the best I can. Hopefully, the more I do it, the better I'll get. But I'm at explaining it, but it's how we're gonna rock it for now. I know I have a method. I've been doing it in binders of games from last year. So that's leading me to believe to take the points on these guys, on this game, on Washington. I think Washington goes into Philly and surprises some people. Next game. Not Paco. I want to do San Francisco and Tampa Bay. No, the Jets. I'm sorry. I got to pull these guys up anyway. San Francisco's coach is Kyle Shanahan. And let's see. by Dirk Cotter or whatever. Yeah, for Tampa. Really was. There was an easier or more efficient way of flipping through all these damn charts. Anyway, oh, so fucking spoiled, man. I mean, just think those guys, you know, those sages and those people that read charts before computers had to draw this up by hand. Yeah, but that's a whole nother story. All right, Kyle Shanahan. All right, they're right here. Cool. Same shit. We're looking at Jupiter for Tampa. Let's go to third college chart. There's nobody. Look where Jupiter's placed in. So we drop Sagittarius into his chart. Where is Jupiter? In the 12th. That's not good. All right. Even though it is a Mars sign, that's a good thing because remember, we're looking for Jupiter-Mars connections. It's in the 12th house. Not a good deal. Okay. No, I guess you can call it like a strike one. All right, Jupiter, and now we look at Mars. Where is Mars? In Venus. Yeah, Venus is exalted, though. That is Venus is exaltation placement is in Pisces. So you would discount Mars being in there by an exalted Venus helping it out. Okay, but not much. So you got Mars and Jupiter opposite each other, and it's pretty tight. But this 12th house shit, that's not too good. Jupiter's in a bad dignity in the 12th. All right. Drop it down in Aries. Where is Mars? In the 6th, with a debilitated Venus. 5 signs away from Mercury, not in good dignity. Look right here for Mars, great enemy. Not good. Okay. In the 6th house, though, that is showing though the 3rd and 6th houses are more or less well, the 3rd house is a symbolization kind of Mars. It characterizes one's self-determination and will to get shit done, basically. So it being placed in the 6th is a good thing, but Venus there is not too good. All right. Kyle Shanahan. Come right here. Look what he got. Look where his Mercury's at. And he has the sun. It's on the ascendant. Mercury is actually, we got the rising at 0049. Kyle Shanahan's is what, 2 degrees from the game chart ascendant. Something to think about. He don't have anything in Gemini, but it just goes to show you too that there's a lot of variables moving right here. So now you got to look at, so Mercury's in Sagittarius. Well, now Mercury's going to be dependent on Jupiter for him. So, but guess what? You look at Virgo. What does this guy have? He has a Jupiter-Mercury connection exchange. That means they working together. That's a plus for the underdogs. We go down here. We look at Libra. He has Venus in the 10th. That's a good sign. But look, it's also with K2. That kind of diminishes its strength, but it's still where the transits are in the sky right now. You know what I'm saying? So, be honest with you, I'd probably take Frisco right here too. I should have just come out and tell y'all this is gonna be an underdog party, or just maybe thinking about parlaying these 4 games, a little something like that. But I'm not gonna do that because there's one game that I kind of want to show you. This New York Jets, the next one. Right here. And I gotta pull up coaches. Let's see. Who we got? I don't remember Buffalo's whole coach. Sean McDermott? No, I ain't here. Oh man. Brain farts at 4 o'clock in the morning. That's usually how it goes, huh? Sean McDermott. Yeah. It is it. And Todd Bowles, I think, is the coach over there now. Oh no, Adam Gase is the old Miami coach. Adam Gase. All right. I'm gonna look at first. Remember the event chart for this? Oh shit. Same thing as all the other ones, okay? So we'll do Buffalo first. He's gonna have Rahu, but look at all these planets on his descendant, because he's the underdog. Buffalo's the dogs in here. It's like I think about 2 or 3 points, but still they're gonna be using Gemini. He has Saturn. All these planets right here on the descendant. Saturn and K2, and it's not only a Saturn and Gemini, but look in his Navamsha, it's a Vargadama Saturn. So that means Saturn and Gemini is going to be very dependent on giving a general interpretation of how Saturn acts in his chart, and which is a good placement for Saturn too, because Saturn is considered a friend of Mercury. No, Mercury is considered a friend to Saturn. I apologize. Yeah. So anyway, now what I've learned and from this year of betting, anytime you have Saturn on the descendant, and the separation in degrees is a big deal too, but Saturn is, in general interpretation, it's about getting back up and grit. Keep doing it over and over until you succeed. It's about building structures. Everybody considers Saturn the planet that causes harm the most, but I mean it does. It causes setbacks, but in sports, it's defense. So I'm looking at this game right here to bet the under. And I mean, as you can tell, you don't have to be an astrologer to know this, but the past year or a couple years, I don't think the Jets or the Bills have been known for any high prolific offenses. Well, you got Saturn reinforcing this in the Bills coach's chart saying that it's going to be a defensive struggle. Adam Gase. He is the favorite. He's going to have Moon. So look, Moon and his ascendant Lord opposite each other in his game chart. When you drop Sagittarius down, he'll have Jupiter transiting Jupiter on his natal moon, and I mean on it. But you look where Jupiter's at, you got a Jupiter Mercury exchange with an exalted Venus. Wow, right? Yeah, another exchange, which is a plus. But what I'm looking at right here, I think the moon is going to be the issue for him, because the moon, as for a Sagittarius ascendant, right here is an eighth lord. The eighth lord is one of the most inauspicious houses in astrology. So you got the eighth lord going in the first, and you come down here in the Bobsha, the eighth lord moon would be coming into the first. Even though Mars is in the 10th, exalted, okay, it's still going to present problems. Yep. Kind of losing my train of thought right here. I'm trying to go from my notes back to the screen, and I'm losing thought. Anyway, I'm probably rolling up on 30 minutes right here. I could about imagine. And I still have other things to do, like with the markets and everything. I will be posting, well, I already posted charts on the LinkedIn and about WTI, oil, and the euro dollar. And I got something coming up with Bitcoin. Yeah, I got a lot of shit to do. So I would take the under in this game. The two dogs and the other ones. And what's the... Yeah, so anyway, if all these games, watch that Philadelphia game, because that's the game where you can make the most money off of, because that's where the lines are tilted. That's the good thing about astrology. All these fucking sports handicap bettors or whatever, these pros, they don't know, they gotta just go off the favorite, the numbers. I think this is where astrology provides the speculator an advantage, because astrology, I know it's real. I've seen it work in my life, with death, and the only thing it kind of taints, like predicting for yourself, because you're so biased, you see things, you start having tunnel vision on outcomes and shit, and it kind of throws you off. But Philadelphia and Washington, I think it's going to be interesting. New York, the Jets and the Bills, I'd bet the under. KC and Jacksonville. Take the points on the Jags. And shit, I don't even really think I got the San Francisco and Tampa Bay. I might have. Did I? Oh yeah. I would take the points on all three and the under. I'm telling you. We'll see. I'll talk to y'all later. Thanks for tuning in to CXC, baby. Woo-hoo.